Hi, this is Mrs. Bustamante. Today we're going to talk about energy consumption and describe some of the methods for conserving energy that you yourself can do. So we talk about energy conservation. That's finding ways to use less energy, for example, just lowering your thermostat during the winter or driving fewer miles or turning off the lights when you're not using them even. And then we can talk about energy efficiency or getting the same result from a smaller amount of energy. That'd be like appliances getting more energy efficient over time, is often how we talk about that. A truly sustainable approach to energy use must incorporate both of these. It's not really realistic to think that we're just going to do all of one or all of another. Um, and really, to maximize our use or use less energy, we have to combine both of them. So this picture is important. You need to memorize the order of efficiency of the light bulbs from least efficient to most efficient. So least efficient to most efficient, right? Um, but you don't have to know how many watts they use. Um, that's not important. You just need to know that you need to know which is most efficient and least efficient. CFL lights actually have a very small amount of mercury in them, so that's why we can't just throw them away. It's actually hazardous waste, and if one person did it, probably not a big deal, but if everyone does it, it becomes a problem, right? LED lights are the most efficient, but they also tend to be the most expensive lights, and actually over time, the cost of LED lights has gone down a huge amount, but some of them can be, $10, $20, even $30 each, which is really expensive to pay up front. But you're saving so much on your energy bill that maybe that can be a trade-off, right? Worth it. And they last much longer than some of the other options out there, which maybe for some people can justify the cost, right? But it's hard to sometimes pay that cost up front. So oftentimes there are rebates offered on more efficient light bulbs to make them more affordable. Honestly, I don't even know if you can find halogen lights anymore. Pretty much everything has transitioned away from them over the last couple years. So we can also talk about transport efficiency. Public transportation is much more efficient than traveling by car. You have more people on one engine, right? That makes it more efficient. Car efficiency goes up if you're carpooling, if you have more people in your car going from one place to another. In the US in particular, a vehicle choice is important, but we don't typically just decide which vehicle we're going to buy based on the fuel efficiency alone. It often has to do with comfort, style, convenience, right? And there have been legislation that we've passed in the past that has tried to make overall miles per gallon of fleet of cars, we say, at least 35, meaning average them all together, we at least get 35 miles per gallon. Part of this is our CAFE standards, you might hear them called, or corporate average fuel economy standards. You'll see these on the outside if you ever go to buy a car. They were originally adopted in 1978. New cars were required to average 18 miles per gallon. Standards have obviously gone up since then, right? The Obama administration had a goal of making 54.5 miles per gallon the target by 2025. That would be kind of ideal. More realistically, maybe 47 miles per gallon. But I'm not sure how that's progressing right now. So we can also look at the type of vehicle, right? Electric vehicles are going to get a great fuel economy, but we're going to look at some of the price of individual vehicles, right? So oftentimes electric vehicles will be a greater cost up front, but they'll tell you about your savings on the back end, essentially, right? On your fuel costs. You can look at the same thing for hybrids. Here's your hybrid vehicle, right? Or just a regular vehicle. And lots of times, actually, even our fuel economy on non-hybrid or non-electric has gone up over the years, which is also great. So what's a hybrid car? It just drives using two, basically fuel, I guess you could say, sources. It has a place where you can insert normal gasoline like you do on any other car, and it typically uses that. While you're actually driving the car, it also has a battery which charges, say, when you're sitting at a red light or waiting at a stop sign or just idling in your car. So they get better gas mileage. They have a better fuel economy because they have these two systems, and you're not always burning fossil fuels to make them run. So what are some ways we can improve energy efficiency? Between 1985 and 2001, the average fuel efficiency for new motor vehicles sold in the US started to kind of level off or decline. And so fuel efficient models account for only a tiny fraction of car sales. They get more miles per gallon. But now, as the years have gone on, especially when gas prices were really high, hybrid electric cars are becoming more popular. Their sales are increasing. Um, and like we said a second ago, they charge when you're kind of like paused. Fuel cell cars might also be an option in the future. And then just other forms of transportation, electric scooters, electric bicycles, maybe for short range transportation alternatives. I'll post the link for this video too. It's good for you to watch and think about the different types of transportation and the pros and cons of each of them.